Few places in the Pacific can rival the scenic beauty of the West Maui Mountains. Millions of years of rainfall have carved magnificent valleys from what was once a single volcanic shield. Millions of years of isolation have cloaked these valleys with life forms found nowhere else in the world. From its stream beds in Iao Valley to its summit at Pu'ukukui, one of the wettest spots on Earth, the West Maui Mountains remain much as they were before the arrival of the first Hawaiians. Public and private conservation interests have identified this biological treasure as one of Hawaii's last great places and are working to ensure its protection.
The rainforests of West Maui are one of the last strongholds for our native wildlife here in Hawaii. But their future is threatened by a silent invasion of foreign weeds and feral animals. The challenge for the Conservancy really is, how do you manage such a large area, and how do you do it with a sense of urgency that will really ensure the survival of the incredible natural legacy that we're trying to preserve?
Conservation interests realized years ago that this was not a job any one agency could do alone. But they also realized that the West Maui Mountains serve a practical human purpose. They are a primary source of fresh water for the people of Maui, providing more than 29 billion gallons a year. Knowing the value of this resource to the island's economy, the region's major landowners came together in a coordinated effort to protect and preserve the watershed. On November 20th, 1998, state, county, and private landowners officially formed the West Maui Mountains Watershed Partnership. In doing so, they brought cooperative management to an area of almost 50,000 acres. Equally important, they demonstrated how economic and environmental interests abound together.
This partnership is an effort to protect our forests. It is also an effort to protect our rare plants and animals. But more importantly, it's an effort to protect our fresh, clean water. These forests and the production of water from these forests are inextricably linked. You can't have one without the other. This is the common thread that ties everyone together.
One of the essential functions of the forest is to gather and hold water in trust, so to speak, for the rest of the island. The Hawaiian rainforest acts like a giant sponge, soaking up rainfall and allowing it to drip slowly underground and into streams. The watershed vegetation of the West Maui Mountains is home to thousands of native species. Perhaps the greatest value of these species is the function that they perform together as part of a complex natural ecosystem.
Our native ecosystems, the rainforest in particular, they've evolved over the millennium to the local conditions to adapt to the cycles of drought and flood and to the climate and the soils. Our native ecosystems make the most stable watersheds, and they would be impossible to replace at any price once they've been destroyed.
Thanks in part to its extremely rugged terrain, the West Maui Mountains have enjoyed a history largely free of many of the effects that destroyed or displaced native watershed forests on other islands. But recently, the watershed has been showing signs of transformation from a native Hawaiian to a non-native or exotic forest. The root cause of this transformation is invasion by feral animals, which accelerate erosion, introduce disease and destroy native vegetation. These disturbances opened the way for a variety of weed pests to invade and take over the watershed. One of the major advantages of a partnership is that landowners can work together to address problems that occur across common boundaries.
I think the point of being able to work together with your abutting landowner gives you the opportunity to remove some of those boundary lines. It's clear that feral ungulates and invasive species won't stay on one boundary or one property versus another property. So in many ways it removes property lines and allows us to work together in the common interest.
West Maui landowners have to look no further than East Maui for a model of how to achieve large-scale forest conservation. It was here, on the windward face of Haleakala, that public and private landowners formed the state's first watershed partnership. The lush East Maui rainforest supports rich diversity of life, and its upper reaches are home to the largest concentration of rare and endangered forest birds in the United States. In November of 1991, under the leadership of the State Department of Land and Natural Resources, 6 major area landowners representing conservation, ranching, and other business interests formally created the East Maui Watershed Partnership. Here, too, the common interest that bound everyone together was water.
East Maui Watershed is provides the largest source of harvested surface water in the state. Although we have significantly more water than what is available, we capture and transport approximately 60 billion gallons per year. The water is transported through an elaborate system of ditches, tunnels, and flumes, and is used for irrigation purposes for large-scale agriculture in central Maui. And the water is also used for upcountry residents through the county's water system for residents and farmers. And without this water, life on Maui, the lifestyle and the economy would be very much different.
Since its formation, the East Maui Partnership has been hard at work protecting the source of this water. Its top priority has been constructing fences to keep pigs out of the upper elevation rainforests. When completed, these fences will protect an additional 20,000 acres of the best native watershed forests on East Maui.
Well, one of the things I think this partnership is very effective with is reacting to information, reacting to pressures that we see on this very fragile environment. And we all know how quickly we can lose quality environments, especially native environments. If there's a hot spot, pigs or anything else like that, we can focus, if we want to, all of our energy into that hot spot.
Another critical partnership project is removal of the invasive weed, Myconia. Myconia has the potential to wreak the same kind of damage in Hawaii as it has in Tahiti, where it has displaced 70% of the native forest cover. During the past 3 years, crews have treated more than 90% of Maui's known Myconia population, including the 2,000-acre core infestation near Hana.
When I first started, everybody laughed about it, say, wow, we got job security. When I started, I laughed about it too. I thought, we ain't gonna get this done. But after a couple years, I think we can stop this Myconia in Hana. I really do.
Spurred by their success on East Maui, conservation forces turned their attention to West Maui, where there was also an opportunity to merge conservation and business interests. The agreement that was signed in 1998 brought together the region's 7 major landowners, enabling them to leverage conservation efforts over a much larger native landscape.
By protecting the rainforest, we have the long-term economic benefit that our future generations will be able to use the resource. We've got water that we deliver for agriculture, we've got water that we deliver for potable water uses, and those potable uses supply the business community as well as the visitor industry with good sources, clean sources of water. So I believe it's very important to maintain those watersheds if we're going to maintain the economic life that we have there right now, which is a good one.
A decade ago, no one would have ever thought that economic and environmental interests would find common ground and bring Maui's two major forested watersheds under cooperative management. These partnerships have placed Maui at the forefront of conservation in Hawaii and have established a prototype for how large-scale conservation can be achieved across the state. But long-term success on Maui will depend on an even larger partnership, one that extends beyond landowners and land managers. It is only with your support that these partnerships can tackle the ongoing management challenges that are the real work of conservation. Hawaii's last great places have survived for millions of years. What a shame if we lost them in our lifetime, and what a triumph if we work together to ensure their survival. It's up to us.